Peace, 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 peace. Excuse me being a little bit late. It's early in the morning, just waking up. The best part of waking up. You don't know about that. We're going to get started in a little bit. Yeah. We're going to get started in a little bit. Let me send this thing out real quick. Yeah. That'll do there. Okay. 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 There you go. There you go. There it is. Peace, 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 peace. All right. Let me just play a little something. Give folks a second to come on in real quick. It's always good to start with the holy breath. Yeah.
It's so funny being back on this planet, man. It's been such a long
Peace, peace,
time.
peace, peace, peace. We're gonna get started in a second.
Coming back from Atlantis, it's like, hey, oh, hey, yeah, oh, yeah. Coming back from Atlantis, you see, I was born on Earth, but I'm not from here. Ay, I am from the stars, and I'm talking boulevard. Oh, no, no, no. I say I was born on Earth, but I'm not from here. I am from the stars, I'm not talking boulevard. Oh no, hey, you say I am from the sky. Yeah, we was born with our Creator, and then we fell. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh yes we fell. Yes we fell. Oh yes we fell. Oh my God, listen up, hey. And all is mine, all is mine, all is mine. All is mine. You see, we can make a heaven, you know why? We made our hell. Just look around.
You wanna say hi real quick? I ain't get started. I'm not teaching, but you can say hi. But let me focus and concentrate, okay? All right, Bill? Thank you. I was born on Earth, but I'm not from here. Yeah, I am from the stars, and I'm talking boulevard. Oh no, no. I keep telling you I'm not from here. Yeah, you see, I was born on Earth, but I'm not from here. Yeah, I am from the stars, and I'm talking boulevard. Oh no, no. Yeah, see, I am from the sky, the sun of Most High. Yeah, the sun of Most High. Oh my God, praise the Lord.
One more. One more. One more. I'm just getting my head right. We're gonna get started in a second.
Where my Moors at? Check it out. Now see, a long time ago there was one man. And he came to teach Moors who was being called Negroes and blacks. And you see, it was sort of like this guy, three wise men used to speak about way, way, way back in the day. And he was for love instead of hate. And he stood on 5 principles. It was love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Yeah, alright. And no disrespect to the 6th guy. That's 6. But this man here, he was rolling with them 7s. Hey, he was rolling with them 7s. Yeah, he was rolling with them 7s. Now we rolling with them 7s. Yeah, we rolling with the 7s. Put them up. 7s up. 7s up if you rolling with the 7s.
Noble Drew Ali was one of the greatest men to come among us. So teaches the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Noble Drew Ali, that was his name. To help us know ourselves, that's why he came. Yeah, I used to be so angry, spitting flame. But once I seen the light, that is when it changed. Once you know the truth, it change your wise. You can see our people for we are, not the lies. Now we're overstaying why they try and keep us lost. Our ancestors right, man, they really had the sauce. They gave hella knowledge, hella culture to the world. They trying to make us slaves, man, y'all ain't keep it there. Without even knowing, making gold out of dirt. We always showing love, that's probably why it hurt. My people wanna chill, my people want serenity. And it seems like you want some more enemies. We all about love, we all about peace. Throw them 7s up when you see us in the streets. Yes, you know we throw the 7s. Hit them with the loud. But you know this feel like hell. Oh yeah, 7s up right there. 7s up right there.
We about there, y'all. We better get started. Appreciate you tapping in.
See, when you understand the spiritual nature of the 7 and how it manifests all around us, it will allow us to understand our divine nature. It must be challenging for others to understand who we are. You know, they place labels on us, try to identify us in ways that remove us from our divinity, calling us everything outside of what we truly are. And what happens when we identify with the name or label that someone else has given us? We forget our divinity, who we truly are. See, the thing about language is that it has the same dual nature as everything else. It can be beautiful, but at the same time, it can be stifling to our nature. So when we identify with something that limits us to the material realm, it strips us of our divinity. We are beyond labels. We are made in Supreme's likeness. Wake up, divine man. You are creators with the same likeness. See, a divine man represents the will. And when a divine man has the will to do something, and he directs his will with the spiritual power of the divine woman, oh, the beauty in what you can create. Everything around us is because we created it. Let's get back to that. Back to conscious creativity. I will honor your highest expression, your divinity. We waiting on you, divine man.
All right, peace, 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 peace. I had to get my mind right. It's a lot going on in the world right now, and I just want to make sure I'm in the right space. Peace, 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 peace. I'm Rami Salam Mel. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. It's appreciated. If nothing else, know you are loved. All right, you. Yes, you. Right there. Yes. All right. The topic today. Hey, Morris. Are we about love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice? Or are we full of? That's the topic today. Are we about what we say we about? Or we just acting, playing the role? We just playing dress up. We doing it for the likes and for the comments, for the fame and nobility. What are we about? And I said we, including myself, so it's not, ain't nobody pointing the fingers. It's a us thing. It's a accountability thing for all of us. Yeah, that's what we get into today. That is what we get into, and it's gonna make some people uncomfortable. Yes, uncomfortable, but we need that. All right, let me get busy. I got some things I want to touch on. Let me read these first, little things to get us in order. The Gospel of Hip Hop, one time for KRS-One. He has these sayings for each of the days, and today is January the 12th. Peace, man. And this one says, once you see how it all connects, you feel the peace and give God respect. Whew-wee. Talk about it, talk about it. Talk about it, talk about it. And then I'm going to touch this one real quick because this is on the table. The Teachings of Ptah-hotep, the oldest book in the world. Asa G. Hilliard III, Larry Williams, and Nia Damali was the editors on this. And the number one, the first thing it kicks it off with Ptah-hotep, it says, do not be proud and arrogant with your knowledge. Consult and converse with the ignorant and the wise, for the limits of art are not reached. Do not be proud or arrogant with your knowledge. Do not be proud or arrogant with your knowledge. And then I'm going to come on over here to the Mysteries of the Silent Brotherhood of the East real quick. Divinely Prepared by Noah Drali. And in chapter 8, this is Jesus' holy answer to Lamaze. And it says, a stagnant pool abides in peace. When waters cease to move, they soon are laden with the seas of death. Corruption dwells in every drop. The living waters always leap and skip about like lambs in spring. The nations are corrupt. They sleep within the arms of death, and they must be aroused before it is too late. In life we find antagonists at work. Allah sent me here to stir unto its depths the waters of the sea life. Yeah. Time with Jesus. All right. I see some people tapping in real quick. Let me acknowledge y'all. I appreciate y'all, especially up here so early in the morning. Peace, Cali Money. Peace, Cali Money 23 Money. Peace, Yaya Abdul Kabir Bey. Peace, Girth Brooks. Peace, Open 642. Peace, peace, peace. Let's see a question. 1 second. Something I've been thinking about. Let me know what you think. When I hear unconscious Moors call the Moors of antiquity sellouts, I agree with them. And I tell them, yes, your ancestors went astray. I tell them our ancestors weren't perfect. They did some foul things and were divinely chastised for it. I also inform them that we have served our sentence, and Allah proves that by sending us a prophet. That's deep. That's deep. To build on that, I would say respect to our ancestors, but what's done is done. We can't change the past. That already happened. Let's think about what's going on today, right now, in these days and times, right now. Not even just when Noble Drew Ali was alive, but right now, 2021. Are the Moors right now, Moorish Americans right now, are we sellouts? Are we doing what we are supposed to do? Not our ancestors. Don't put it on them no more. They ain't even here. Are we doing what we supposed to do? I'm gonna read something for you. Read something for you. This is from the Moorish literature. A warning from the prophet. That's Prophet Noble Drew Ali, by the way. For all governors, grand sheiks, and head officials of all temples, renew your acts, amend your ways, because the great conference is on its way, and in it is where the law will be enforced before the great grand body. The continuance of the present officers in the temple will depend on your past good work. Those who have been delinquent may now know that they will not be tolerated any longer, because this great and divine movement must move on according to law. These things shall be proclaimed. But it goes on a bit further. Listen closely. There is no favorite in any of the temples. Stop, let that sit. It's no favorites in any of the temples. That applies to right now. Yes, Noble Drew Ali said it, but he's a prophet. You see what I'm saying? Right now, there's no favorites. Not Taj, not me, not anybody, not whoever your Grand Sheik is. No favorites. Nobody. Nobody's exempt. Nobody get no extra little VIP situation. It don't matter how long you've been a hip on this. It don't matter if your grandma, your mom and your auntie knew about this. It ain't about that. For the law is laid down, and everyone who claims a part of the work must be governed accordingly. Everybody that claims a part. So, if you are claiming you're a Moorish American, you got to follow the law, baby. I don't care how long you've been up on this. Noble Drew Ali, excuse me, not me. Noble Drew Ali said it don't matter. Hey, ain't no favorites. You claim a part, you gotta be held accordingly. All are one. There is but one temple in this nation, and there is but one prophet of the temples. I come to speak to all nations, bringing them a message of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. That's Noble Drew Ali talking, not me, just to be clear. If in the head of every temple, if anyone has violated these divine laws, it will mean his discontinuance or her discontinuance. For no man is to be under the influence of intoxicating liquors, nor to seek to tear up the families while under the influence of evil motive. Nor, this is important, nor must he speak anything that will prejudice the minds of the public against the divine movement. If any of the laws are violated, anybody, Grand Sheik or Sheiks, can file charge against the violation to the Grand Body over which the Prophet resides. The power is vested in 7 or more Sheiks for the protection of your temple and the divine movement. The Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America. He was not playing. Noble Drew Ali was not playing no games with none of us. All right? We got to understand this. Why did I read that? What's going on, Rami? Why you tripping? What's the deal? Last night I seen Isaiah Thomas, and peace to the sister who I seen it from. I seen it's a tweet from Isaiah Thomas, And it says, we must all claim our nationality and eliminate the black-white status color box of race. We have all been misled and miseducated to believe in a concept that scientifically does not exist, called race. I'm going to read that one more time just so we can get it clear. This is Isaiah Thomas, okay? Isaiah Thomas, oh, the international businessman. Go look at his Twitter right now. Isaiah Thomas, international businessman, hashtag more, hello, praise Allah. NBA TV, two-time Detroit Pistons champ, Hall of Famer, co-founder of the Rappers, Champagne CEO of One World Pharma, UC Berkeley, all sorts of stuff. This is Isaiah Thomas we're talking about, just so we're clear. And I'm going to read what he said one more time. But in his little profile, his little thing about me section, it says hashtag more. MOOR. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That Isaiah Thomas speaking on it. Oh, I didn't even see this one before. My family and I were always here on this land we now call America, and the human race started on the land we now call Africa, including yours, whoever you are. That was the one before that. I missed that one. It says we must all claim our nationality and eliminate the black-white status color box of race. We have all been misled, miseducated to believe in a concept that scientifically does not exist. Okay, what does that have to do with us? Well, if you didn't notice, Moorish Americans out there, brothers and sisters, the U.S. is in sort of panic mode right now. It's a lot of things falling apart. Got the pandemic, got the economy, the schooling system, the foods, GMOs, so much corruption. I don't even want to get into all of that. My point is that people are in need. A lot of people are suffering. And in particular, so-called black and brown people, so-called Negroes, so-called African Americans are suffering. Those of us who know that we're Moorish American, that know that we're Moors, we understand it when we start being ourselves, being who we are, being Moorish Americans, we can end all of this genocide and the discrimination and the oppression against our people. We understand that. So what are we doing? We got Isaiah Thomas speaking on it. But do we have the infrastructure set up in place right now? Is there someone who can step forward on a national scale and add on and build to what Isaiah Thomas said and say, listen, wherever you are, here's the locations where you can go and you can start, so I can quote it right, claim or proclaim or declare our nationality? Do we have that established? Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be honest. Let's not be fronting for the gram, shall we? Let's not do this for the internet. Let's be honest. Think carefully. Do we have that infrastructure set up? No, we do not. Why though? Noble Drew Ali came and told us this over 100 years ago. It's people been in this movement longer than I've been alive. What's the problem? What's the holdup? Why are we full of it? We got to hold ourselves accountable. We got to be real with ourselves. What's going on? I've been studying this information, give or take 7-8 years now. And a few years ago, I came to a point where I said, this is what I feel is the problem. You know what I mean? Like if you was a plumber trying to figure out, is it a leak somewhere? Is it a clogger somewhere? And you go into the sink and you finally figure it out. Or your car not working, you take it to a mechanic. You say, I gotta run some tests. I gotta do a diagnostic. I gotta get up in the engine, you know what I mean? Get my hands a little dirty. I figured out what's going on. You see this thing right here? This is the holdup. This is why your car not starting. And from my perspective, this is my opinion, based on my experience, my studies, my research, and the information that I've seen. The problem is not with European people stopping us from being Moorish American. It's not from anybody putting a gun to us saying you can't do that. That's not allowed. The problem ain't that we don't have the information. The problem isn't that we don't understand the information. Because it's Moorish Americans that understand and are some of the most amazing and brilliant people that I've ever seen in my life. The problem I see is we not following what Noble Drew Ali said. We not following what the prophet said. Well, what did the prophet say? The prophet established this thing called the Supreme Grand Council. And I done spoke on it many and many and many times. Please don't believe me, because man knows nothing by being told. I don't want you to believe what I'm saying. I dropped the link in there. I'll drop it in again. Boom. Right there. That moorishkingdom.tripod.com/ID56. Okay? .html. Go read the Moorish literature and do a Control F or Apple F and search for Supreme Grand Council and read what Noble Drew Ali said. And then take yourself to YouTube, to the internet, and search up the videos that I've done on the Supreme Grand Council for 3-4 years now. The Supreme Grand Council is the governing body. It is really at the core what is necessary for this movement to not be stagnant, for it to be alive, for it to be thriving, for us to do what we need to do. And the truth is, the unfortunate truth is, whether it's people that are afraid or they have ulterior motives, whatever the reason, I don't care about the reason, but whatever the reason is, most Moorish Americans in this movement have not and continue to stay silent about this issue. And I'm talking from the people that I work with, Canaan Land Moors, Cujo Awa'el. I'm talking about all the people in the temples. I'm talking about everybody in all these Moors. Don't believe me. Please don't believe me. Look it up for yourself. Ask them for yourself. Look for their videos on the Supreme Grand Council. Just see where it's at. Now, if you're new to this, you might not understand how important and how integral the Supreme Grand Council is. But those that know, they know. Why do I keep harking on this? It's because we have a responsibility for the rest of the nation. A wise man taught me it's the duty of those that do know to teach those that don't know. That's Malcolm X's grandson, El Haj Malik El Shabazz grandson. It's the duty of those that know to teach those that do not know. It's the duty of Moorish Americans who know about the Supreme Grand Council to teach those who do not know. And if you are not teaching, if you are not doing, if you are not about love, if you're not about truth, what are we about then? You're not standing on the principles that Noble Drew Ali laid down. I see many Moors making fun of love. Oh, we ain't gotta love the evil white beast or blah, 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 the European devil. Are you tripping? You crazy? It says love instead of hate. So what kind of fool are you? That came from Dick Gregory. But seriously though, look at yourself. You, we, us, we are letting down our nation because we are not doing what we're supposed to do. If we had our thing set up and running the way it's supposed to, when this pandemic hit, we would have been able to give aid to all our people around the country, for example. When people were scared, worried about being sick, how to feed their family, their children, it could have been Moors out there with fezzes and turbans providing food packages, providing opportunities to make money because we have our own thing established, providing remedies to cure you. But we ain't got none of that set up. Instead, it's a bunch of Moors on the internet down talking other people, disrespecting other people, pointing their fingers at other people and what they not doing. My auntie and grandmas, they said, hey now, when you point one finger at them, you pointing three back at yourself now. Look at yourself. What are we doing? Stop blaming other people. Where's our action at? Where's our clean glass of water? Stop worrying about the dirty glasses of water. Why haven't we established what we are supposed to establish? It's because we are BS. And we are not holding each other accountable. Instead, everybody just wants to be, I want to be the more on top. Yeah, come get views and I want to be the more that's exposing this person. Yeah, see, because that's the ego. That's your pride, man. But it's children out here that need us. It's elderly, it's grandmas and grandfathers and older uncles and aunties that need us. It's people that are addicted off of these drugs that need us. We don't have to keep trying to prove that we're Moors. Why do people keep making these kind of videos? Starting from, let me get the book. Where is that at? Let me see if I can flip to this real quick. Here we go. Here we go. This is chapter 12. Jesus teaches the common people at a spring, tells them how to obtain eternal happiness. And this is coming from the Quran Circle 7, divinely prepared by Noble Drew Ali the Prophet, okay? Here it says, Jesus said, the sons of men are toiling hard on desert plains and burning sands and rocky soils, and doing what their fathers did, not dreaming that they can do aught else. We doing the same thing our fathers did, not doing anything else. We got to move past step one. Okay, yes, you needed to show and try to prove people that we're Moors. It's proven. It's done. It's overdone. All right? That thing is crispy. It's well done. Charcoal, black and crispy, okay? We no longer have to try to prove that we are Moors. We don't. We have to be it through our actions. And not just the same old, making videos, trying to point out other people. That's not what being a Moor is about. What is being a Moor about, Rami? I'm glad you asked. It's about uplifting fallen humanity. It's about love instead of hate. I'm going to say it one more time. It's about love instead of hate. That's what we're supposed to be about. So again, I'm challenging you. Yes, you. Anybody that claims to be a part of this movement. Challenge our brothers and sisters that are in leadership positions. Because it can't just be me saying it. I've been saying it. We have to challenge all of these people in the leadership positions, the people that claim to be the heads of the temple, the people that claim to be grand sheiks, the people that claim to be grand governors, etc. Any and all of the people that you look up to, that you claim is wise and they teach it and they just got it. Everybody. Asir, Taj, Abdullah, I'm at a loss for names, but anybody that you can think of that you view as a top person or as a leader of this movement, the Grand Sheik, Supreme Grand Sheik, anybody with them titles, any and all of them, we have to challenge them to start doing what Noble Drew Ali said, Supreme Grand Council. That's what's on the table right now. And if they are unwilling to address that, they are too afraid to address that. If they have other motives, they want to do things their way and not what Noble Drew Ali said. If they want to be the prophet and not follow the prophet, then say that. Let it be known. Step forward and say, nah, forget what Noble Drew Ali said. I'm going to do things my way. If that's how you feel, stand on that. So that way the people can know I'm not following that person. Because I'm going to let you know, everybody that tries to do that, everybody that tries to go off and do their own thing, I'm going to create my own thing. Yeah, that was back then, but now it's a different time. We got to do it our way. Those people are going to suffer greatly, because this ain't nothing to play with. Noble Drew Ali wasn't playing. He wasn't just saying it just to say it. He didn't establish this just because it was fun. Thought maybe they might need it. No, sir. No, ma'am. Philip Jones, peace. I was in my thing. Excuse me. Peace, appreciate y'all. Philip Jones, we're not following our divine instructions, so it makes it hard to carry out our everyday tasks. We secretly cling to our niggardly ways. We secretly cling to our lower self. Yes, I agree. To all the things that harm. I agree. We are not doing what we're supposed to do. We are not being in our higher self, because that's what dethrones the devil within. That's the Savior. That love instead of hate. You can't serve two masters. Where's Allah's meeting place? The heart. If your heart is filled with hatred and anger, how are you going to be able to see Allah? How can you feel Allah? How can you hear what Allah is saying? If all in your heart is just, anger, jealousy, hatred, greed, you can't. And you get off the path. And you mislead other people when you do that. Especially when you claim to be a Moor. And you claim to be about following Noble Drew Ali and doing what Noble Drew Ali said. I didn't see Noble Drew Ali disrespecting any people. I tried to look for any and all records of Noble Drew Ali. I never seen him talking down on people. I never seen him bashing people. It's uplifting people. It's with the love, though. Got to have the love in it, or else it don't work. That's the first principle. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Before any of them other things, love comes first. I know. It did in the end. People be trying to disrespect love. Oh, you see what happened? You see what happened to Martin Luther King? He was about love. Look what happened to him. You missing the point. That sound like you scared of me. I'm not going to be like Jesus and just turn the other cheek. Oh, okay. You going to do what you want to do, huh? That's what you saying. Not listen to what Noble Drew Ali said. You're going to do what you going to do. And that's our problem. We always want to do what we want to do instead of doing what we're supposed to do. Instead of doing what we were shown we need to do. And you can't act like you don't know because it's right there. Love instead of hate. Let me help you out, just in case you ain't know. This is chapter 48, the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecies. The last prophet in these days is Noble Drew Ali, who is prepared divinely in due time by Allah to redeem men from their sinful ways and to warn them of the great wrath which is sure to come upon the earth. Come all ye Asiatic of America and hear the truth about your nationality and birthrights, because you are not Negroes. Learn of your forefathers' ancient and divine creed, that you will learn to love instead of hate. See, we're to learn of our forefathers' ancient and divine creed so that you will learn, so that we will learn to love instead of hate. Love instead of hate. Not love and hate. Not love and then sometimes hate. Love instead of. So taking that hate out, putting the love there. We are trying to uplift fallen humanity. Come and link yourselves with the families of nations. Link yourself. Not try to cut ourselves off from other nations. Not try to make it seem like we just better than everybody. We just the greatest nation. Come on, go on with all that. Link yourself with the families of nations. We are uplifting fallen humanity. Not uplifting fallen Moors. Not just uplifting the fallen so-called black people. Uplifting fallen humanity. We honor all the true and divine prophets. All of them. That means Jesus. That means Muhammad. That means Confucius. That means Buddha. Peace be upon them all. Stop disrespecting Jesus. That's not the way. Noble Drew Ali didn't do that. So why are you doing it? Noble Drew Ali didn't disrespect Prophet Muhammad. So why are you doing it more? You know who I'm talking to. Love instead of hate. Love is the key. Not your ego. Not, I think I know it all. not our pride. Love. That's simple. Pardon me, I'm a little frustrated right now because I see a lot of suffering, and I see time and time again the opportunity for us to step up and be who we are, to lead the way, to help uplift fallen humanity. And we not doing that because we too busy fighting each other, disrespecting other people, disrespecting other regions and other cultures, trying to act like our nation is just the best nation and can't nobody just, we just all knowing. I'm seeing that by some Moors out there. And it's embarrassing and it's shameful. How have we known all this information all this time and yet we still suffer? Oh, well, it's because, so we blaming other people now. I can't stand on that. I can't keep making these videos and pretending like I don't see what I see. It's not in my heart to do that. I gotta be honest. The truth is the truth. It don't change or pass away. Where's the Supreme Grand Council? Noble Drew Ali set it up. I seen it. I started speaking on it. I'm looking around. Ain't nobody speaking on it. That's a problem. I'm not finna keep talking about no other people, no other group, none of that, if we can't get ourselves right. It's just that simple. That's how I was raised. It's hypocritical. I don't like being a hypocrite. I'm fine working on myself, fixing my stuff before I start trying to blame other people for anything they ain't doing. If I was moving around in my car and I got pulled over by the police, whatever, they give me a ticket because I got a broken headlight. Okay, whatever. I mean, yeah, they probably was profiling me and seeing me. Yeah, I could probably get them. But if I had my stuff all on point, headlight working, everything on point, hey, then I don't have no excuse. Now I can start getting to them and what they doing. But if I ain't got my stuff 100% on point, if I'm not standing on my square properly, who am I to be talking about what other people ain't doing? How other people ain't standing on their square? What kind of fool am I? That's not real. That's not keeping it 100. That's not truth. Is it? You know it and I know it. Sorry, let me try to catch up. Christine Williams, cultivating goodness is essential. Amen. Islam, all that. Ashe. You know what I mean? All that. Noble Drew Ali was indeed a taskmaster. Philip Jones, we don't want to stop eating meat. We don't want to be sexually disciplined. We don't want to read or quit drinking. We don't want to fast. These are all examples of self-love, and that's the first step. Girth, we don't take it seriously enough. A lot of us are romantics and get caught up in the grandeur of our ancestors' accomplishments. That's heavy. That's heavy, yo. And that's real. You know what I mean? That is real. A lot of us, let me give you an analogy that I was thinking about the other day. When I was in high school, I used to play for the football team. It was some people on the team They weren't engaged in practice. They wasn't giving their all Monday through Thursday, right? They joking around on the sidelines, they talking, they going half speed. They doing just enough so that the coach don't get mad at them or don't point them out. But they not doing the best that they can do all through the week in practice. But come Friday, when it's time for the game, oh, you see them bright and early walking through the hallways with their jersey on. Yeah, I play for the team. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I'm with the squad. I'm play for the football team. Yeah, it's all good then. And game time, they all looking in the stands. What's up, yo? What's up? Hey, check me out. They got all the tape. They got the visor, the tail pad. They looking clean. The new cleats. They clean out here for the game. But when it was time for the practice, when it's time to put the work in, when it's the not so glorious part, they was nowhere to be found. They wasn't really about that action. They didn't want to put the work in for real. They just wanted to receive the fame. They just wanted to get the outcome of everything. They wanted to be on the winning squad. Smile. Yeah, I'm down with the squad. Don't work like that though. You can't be in the game. You can't get the shine if you don't put in the work. We as a nation aren't going to be able to shine. We're not going to be able to get that kind of praise. We're not going to be able to elevate ourselves and be as great as we can be if we don't put in the work Monday through Thursday. You follow what I'm saying? We can't come on Friday. Ooh, look at my fez, y'all. Look at my turban. It's long. It's long. We can't do all of that on Friday if we ain't putting in the work Monday through Thursday. We bogus if we doing that. We full of it if we doing that. We not doing what we supposed to do. And what is the work? What is the Monday through Thursday work? Getting our temples right, getting the infrastructure right. Making sure we understand who are the positions, what are the official positions in the Moorish Science Temple of America? A whole list of them. Grand Sheik, Grand Governor, Secretary, Muftis, etc., etc., etc. What are all the positions, the official positions? What do they do? What are their functions? What are their responsibilities? Are we educating our people on that and figuring out who is the best fit for that? Are those people studying and doing what they need to do? Are they up on world politics and what's going on around the world? Are they? Are they really prepared to be leaders of our nation? If they not, sit down. Get out the way. Put in the work. Make yourself ready. Don't just try to claim that. Don't just do it for the likes. Don't just do it for the gram. Because this ain't for play. We really have to put in the work. We really need to understand what the Supreme Grand Council is for. What is its functions? How does it operate? And that needs to be known across the board in all the temples, amongst all the Moorish Americans. This ain't some club thing where only a certain group of people at the top know what's going on. No, sir. No, ma'am. That's not how this operates. I'm going to get to that question in a second. Abdullah Bay TV. Jerry Blaze Bay. I feel get the information out because the information Noble Ali gave us is divine and national. But while we get the information out, we must study ourselves, be in the higher self. Indeed. But here's the thing, Jerry. The information been out there. That's the thing that's irritating me. This information has been out there. I'm going to be silent. Before I answer the Abdullah Bey, I want to just put this question out there, and I just want everybody to think on it. The Supreme Grand Council is not something I created or made up myself. This is something that Noble Drew Ali established and was a part of when he was alive, 1928. Okay? As of today, January 12, 2021, within the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Supreme Grand Council is not functioning properly. It's in de facto. It's not even it's just inoperable. NA, it's not working. You know what I'm saying? It is not operating right now. The question I want to pose to you, and I'm going to be quiet for a moment. I just want people to think about this. Why? Why? Why is it not operating right now? I'm going to shut up. Just be quiet. I don't see any reasonings. I don't see any explanations on why anybody feels that Supreme Grand Council is not operating right now. If someone knows the reason, then please let me know. FBI infiltration, sellout. The FBI papers. Any other reason? And before I continue. No? I've heard that. I've heard that being put forth as the reasoning. Garth Brooks, speaking for myself, I haven't done the research or even looked into it. I appreciate that. Thank you for being honest about that. It's okay. Who are they? It's a great question. It's okay. If you don't ask the questions, we can't get to the answers. If you think you know everything, then how can you know what you don't know? If you don't know what the Supreme Grand Council is, don't even worry about it. Right now, go, after this video, even you can cut this video off and just go look up Supreme Grand Council. There's plenty of videos I made up there. Or you can go to the link, the Moorish literature, moorishkingdom.tripod.com/ID56. And then search for the Supreme Grand Council and read for yourself. I don't feel like getting into a lengthy explanation. I'll just say that the Supreme Grand Council is one of the most important pieces to our Moorish Science Temple of America, to the Moorish Divine and National Movement. That alone should be all you need to go research it for yourself. And it was established by Noble Drew Ali, who was actually a part of the Supreme Grand Council. But to the excuse of their sellouts and FBI infiltration, I've heard that so many times. And the thing I keep saying, so because we were infiltrated, is that it? We just lose? Is that what we're saying? It's not working because the FBI infiltrated the temple, and so that's it? Like, why not clean out the temple? Why not figure out who is infiltrated? Are we scared? We fearful, huh? Do we not have faith in Allah? We don't have faith in Allah, huh? We scared. We scary. Unwillingness to work together. Amen. Amen. It's not working because we aren't working. Amen. Islam, Ashe, all of that. That is the unfortunate, hard truth that we got to swallow. This movement isn't operating. The temple is not working the way it was set up. The Supreme Grand Council is not doing its function properly because we are not doing the work. We can't blame it on the FBI. We can't blame it on such and such. We can't blame it on whoopity wop and a boop and a bop. It's us. You, me, we. It's just that simple. Now, if we do the work, if we educate ourselves on what this Supreme Grand Council is, and we start speaking on it and demanding that all of us get on accord with what Noble Drew Ali said, not Rami, don't put it on me. I didn't establish the Supreme Grand Council. Don't put it on me. Noble Drew Ali did. I'm just following the orders that Noble Drew Ali laid down. When we start doing that, the people who have ulterior motives, the people who have infiltrated, oh, they will stick out like a sore thumb. Oh my goodness. It'll be very clear who is about hatred and who is about love. You see what I'm saying? But if we too afraid, if we too scary to look up the information and do the work, do the research, study and figure out what does this Supreme Grand Council really do? If we are too afraid to do the work, then we will continue to suffer. It'll continue to be stagnant, and things will get worse and worse. The worst is yet to come. See? Groover Hoover 107. NOI was infiltrated too and still rock until this day, right? Peace to Brother Ben X. Peace to Rizza Islam. Peace to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Peace to all the brothers and sisters of the Nation of Islam. You can say what you want about them. You can try to disrespect them all you want. But when I look at their organization, I see something that has structure. I see something that's moving and grooving. They taking care of some people. They have the infrastructure set up. They have discipline. What about us, though? What are we doing? Oh, well, because the NOI. Oh, there you go, blaming somebody else again. There you go. See, because it was there. I don't want to hear all that. What are we doing? It ain't no Nation of Islam members saying, y'all can't be Moors. We're going to stop this. They ain't doing that. They doing their thing. They doing their thing. And been doing their thing. Why aren't we working with them? Why aren't we humbling ourselves and learning from them? Too busy trying to blame other people. Jealous, maybe. That's uncomfortable, though. We don't want to address that. But we have to. We got to be real with ourselves, or it's not going to get better. It's just going to keep getting worse if we keep lying to ourselves. Word, straight up, Guru Hoover. I'll get back to that. I got you on the Trump question. Let me read it again just to be clear. Abdullah Bay TV. Trump is taking down the U.S. corporation. What does it mean to us, the indigenous Moors of the land? What are we going to do? The indigenous Moors of the land? Did Noble Ali ever call us that? So who are we talking about? Are we talking about Moorish Americans? Because if we're talking about Moorish Americans, we know what we're supposed to be doing. Uplift and follow humanity. Learning to love instead of hate. That ain't changed. The whole Trump is taking down the U.S. corporation. We don't know what's going on. I dropped the link in there earlier. I'm going to just read this for you. The title. This is on Reuters.com. Reuters. Uganda bans social media ahead of presidential election. Uganda banned social media on Tuesday, 2 days ahead of its presidential election, pitting Yoweri, excuse my pronunciation, Museveni, one of Africa's longest-serving leaders, against opposition frontrunner Bobby Wine, a popular singer. It's so much going on in this world right now. I don't know what's happening with Trump, the U.S. corporation, blah, 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 blah. You could spend the next 5 years trying to look into conspiracies and crisis acts and blah, 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 all you want. Will you really know what's going on? No. Is Trump really for Americans, a real patriot? Is this all part of some design? Do you really know? I doubt it. But more importantly, we can't control that. That is not in our, that's why are we focusing our attention there? What about what we are doing? Never mind what Trump is doing. What are we doing? Yes, we could get into a discussion about all of that. But what are we doing? That's the priority. As Moorish Americans, a part of this Moorish divine and national movement, what are we doing right now? Worried about what Trump is doing? Looking up conspiracy theories? Complaining about other people? Making videos to try to show that we're Moors over and over and over and over again? That's what we doing? Not building schools, creating farms so that we can grow our own food, creating infrastructure for employment and job opportunities. Are we doing those things? Never mind that. Are we even just simply following what Noble Ali said for us to do? No. So instead of us focusing all our attention elsewhere, how about we get back to what we are supposed to do? Well, what Noble Ali said and established for us to do. Come on, I don't want to kill you, man. I'm teaching. You feel what I'm saying? I get your question. We getting off focus, and we've been off focus. We got to get back to what Noble Drew Ali said, back to what the prophet laid down. Philip Jones, I don't know what it is, but in your opinion, what can work better? Okay. I get asked questions to answer your question, Philip Jones. I get asked questions in my email and DMs often. You know, how do we proclaim our nationality? I figured out that I'm more, but I don't want to use, those old social security numbers and like, how do I rent an apartment? I got health care. How do I? It looked like we back. I'm not sure if we back. Okay. Yeah, I think we back. That was a trippy one. What? Ah. I tell you what. Well, let me. I take that as a sign. Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. What was I just saying? That was trippy. Um. Boom. Okay. I get questions, as I was saying before it did the little whoop womp. Um, I get questions all the time about how do we get our ID? How do we proclaim our nationality? How do we do this officially? How do we rent an apartment, etc., etc.? The Supreme Grand Council would be the governing body of Moors, the people within the Moorish Science Temple of America. They would be able to explain and lay out for everybody across the nation how we go about things. It would clarify all sorts of things like this, and they would put that message out to the leaders of all the temples, and then the leaders of the temples would take that message and information to their respective temples and cascade it down to the people. And thus the whole nation will be informed on how to move forward the proper way. So we all be on one accord. Instead of, oh, well, out here we do it this way, and in California, hey, we do it our own way. We got our own Supreme Grand Sheik. We don't care about what y'all doing. We doing what we want to do. That's the reason why there's so much division, confusion. People are unsure of who to trust, which is the right way to go, because the Supreme Grand Council will clarify all of those issues. And even more importantly, the Supreme Grand Council deals with that money, baby. Oh, yeah. See, people don't want it. People don't want no audit of that, huh? That's where it get tricky. They're in charge of the property. Properties, let me say that. The land. So we audit that, then we getting somewhere. Oh my goodness. Now we find out who's behind what. Yeah, so that is why it's, shh, don't you talk about that. Hey, Rami is bringing up the Supreme Grand Council. Hey, you go attack him. You go distract people. Don't make sure don't nobody ask about that Supreme Grand Council. That's why I keep bringing it up. But I don't want you to believe me. See, because if you believe me, you don't know. You just believe me. Then you just go, well, Rami said, and then it could go back and forth between whoever versus Rami, thus distracting you from the point. Because it's what Noble Drew Ali said. It ain't about me. Take me on up out of that. I sit in the back. I just want the issue to be addressed. I got no problem. I got no problem with just sitting in the back, being quiet. I do not care, not one little, none of that. I do not need the fame, none of that. Please understand that. I'd much rather not be making the videos. It's uncomfortable for me sometimes. Because then people be approaching me like, hey, Rami, who are you? Oh, I've been watching your videos for like 4 years now. Oh, all right. See, I'm being real with you. It's not, it's a little uncomfortable for me. But we got to be responsible because it's lives on the line. That's the thing. And I put a little humor in it just to, honestly, to keep me from getting too frustrated. You know what I mean? Because I have 2 children and I have nieces and nephews. Lots of children, out here that need our help and need proper guidance. And we need to make a way for them now more than ever. And it really frustrates me when I see so many self-proclaimed Moors and people that's honoring Noble Drew Ali, and they just bogus. They full of it. But see, because we about love and truth, and I got to be about love instead of hate, I can't be attacking people because it's really not about that. It's really about uplifting people. But we got to be honest with ourselves, and we got to get on point. We got to do what we supposed to do and not what we want to do. We got to do what we supposed to do and not what we want to do. It's not about what you want to do, more, brother, sister. It's about what we were called to do. It's about our duty and our obligation to humanity, to our nation, and most importantly, to Allah. Come on now. Come on now. Philip Jones, you know we have land, right? Who's in charge of the land, Philip Jones? Who is in charge of the land, Philip Jones? Please let me know. And I'm speaking about Moorish Americans, the Moorish Science Temple of America. Who is in charge? Let me answer that for you. Supreme Grand Council. Don't believe me. Matter of fact, I'll read it. I'll put this on the record. Then you can look it up for yourself. To make changes. It is reported that the Prophet, the supreme executive authority, will appoint a Supreme Grand Council, of which he will be the Supreme Grand Chairman. The Supreme Grand Council will have power and duty to control and supervise all the affairs and properties of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I'm going to read it again in case that garbage truck was too loud. The Supreme Grand Council will have power and duty. They have the power and the duty. The Supreme Grand Council is from Noble Drew Ali, has the power and the duty to control and supervise. To control and supervise all of the affairs and properties of the Moorish Science Temple of America. All of the affairs. Look up affairs in the law dictionary, because you know we about that law. Look up properties in the law dictionary. We about that law, right? Look up what control and supervise means. The Supreme Grand Council has the power, again, the power and duty to control and supervise all of the affairs and properties of the Moorish Science Temple of America. All of it. All of it. Not some, not a little bit, not a lot of bit, not most of it, not 90%, not 77%, all of it. The Supreme Grand Council. So who's in the Supreme Grand Council, Philip Jones? Or anybody out there? That's the issue. Don't believe me, though. Don't believe what I'm saying. Look it up for yourself. Read it for yourself. Go get the law dictionary, look up those words for yourself so that you know within your own soul and your own spirit what that means. So you can stand on it. So when people start BSing, start trying to say, oh, we can make up our own Supreme Grand Council. Yeah, y'all. You'll know that they're lying. You will know that they are trying to do something that the prophet didn't say. They trying to do their own thing. See, that's here we go. I'm gonna address this last few things. Abdullah Bay TV. I say this with love. I say this with love. But your thinking is flawed. The hybrid Europeans are warring on our land over our land and estates. That was the premise of my question. The hybrid Europeans? What are we talking about? Blaming other people. What are you doing in terms of the Supreme Grand Council, Abdullah Bay? What are you doing? Have you made any lessons? Have you taught any classes? Do you have any videos online teaching the people about the Supreme Grand Council? If you do not, do you have any books, any literature on this issue? If you do not have that, it don't make no sense in trying to talk about hybrid Europeans and anything else. That's distracting. I don't even feel like getting into that and trying to break that down because it's not about them. It's about you. It's about me. It's about us and what we are doing. Stop looking at what other people are doing. What are we doing? We gotta be real, man. We gotta stop blaming other people. Stop looking towards other people. Hey, last thing, man. We should definitely do what the prophet instructed us to do before we assume it won't work. Come on, man. Come on now. Come on now. We be trying to do all sorts of other stuff instead of just doing what was laid out for us to do. Esoteric soul. So what do we do if the Supreme Grand Council isn't reestablished like it hasn't been for the last 4 years? You've been speaking on it. See that? See the key in that question? So what do we do if the Supreme Grand Council isn't reestablished like it hasn't been for the last 4 years? You've been speaking on it. How come we haven't been speaking on it? Esoteric soul. That's the issue. And I've said that several times. It can't just be me speaking on it. You have to stop waiting. Oh, let's see what happens because Rami talking about it. Let's see if anybody else. Nobody else. I'm going to be silent, just wait in the back. That's not going to work. We have to be honest. It's not about whether you like the leadership, whether you like this Grand Sheik or that Grand Sheik. Get out of your emotions. Get out of your feelings. They have a job to do, a responsibility, a duty. Are they doing it or are they not doing it? If they are not doing it, then you have to ask them to move aside because they're not doing what they're supposed to do. And then you got to step up because you know. And it's the duty of those that know to teach those who do not know. That's your responsibility. That's our responsibility. Everybody that's watching this right now, it's not by accident that you're watching. It's not. The question is, do you have a heart within yourself to stand up and do what we need to do? I can't answer that for you. I don't know what's in your heart. Only you do. And Allah. And whether you do or you don't do, that's between you and Allah ultimately. Because we all going to be judged on what we've been doing at the end of the day. Nah, Abdullah Bay TV. I didn't miss anything. You were missing the point. You keep pointing to other people. You blaming hybrid Europeans and this and Trump and U.S. corporation. What are you doing about the Supreme Grand Council? Brother, I know, may make you uncomfortable, but this is the truth. I could take it off of you. I could put it on Cujo because I was working with Cujo. Had a book, co-authored a book with Cujo. 77 amazing facts about the Moors. I don't care about that. What is Cujo doing? And that's Cujo Awa'el, Canaan Land Moors. What is he doing about teaching the Supreme Grand Council? He hasn't been. It's the facts. It's not about whether I like him or none of that. Got to get out our feelings. See, because if I was not me and it was somebody else calling me out, you know what I'm saying? If I wasn't the one speaking on Supreme Grand Council and there was some other Moor say, hey, Rami, I know you be doing that, keeping it real in the music, but I just learned about the Supreme Grand Council. Can you talk about this? If I don't do what I'm supposed to do, then I'm being a coward. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm misleading the people. I'm being a hypocrite. I don't want to be a hypocrite. When you know better, you do better. When I learned about the Supreme Grand Council, guess what? I said, hey, y'all, I just learned about the Supreme Grand Council. What's going on? So what are you doing? Not Trump, not the NOI, not hybrid Europeans, not reptilians, not whoever. What are you doing? That's what you got to ask yourself. You got to look in the mirror and make the change. That's where it starts. Word to Michael Jackson. The man in the mirror or the woman in the mirror. Let me close on that. Let me close on that. That's something beautiful right there. Jerry Blaze Bay. Jerry Blaze Bay. Know this. Just know this is a problem and use the principles to work it out. But remember, be careful because your own killed the prophet. It's ours. It's always our own. Here's the beautiful thing, man. Here's the beautiful thing about that. If you're scared, go to church. If you are scared, you're going to have to go to church, baby. You're going to have to go to church now. Because if you stand for nothing, you will fall for, you know what I mean? Know what I mean? Are you trying to live as long as you can? Trying to be as safe as possible? Are we doing what we supposed to do? Are we scared? Are we fearful? Is it fear? Do we got that love in our heart? You let me know. Can't be scared. Can't be scared. No, no, sir. No, sir. Gotta stand on it. Gotta stand on it. And I feel you. But now is not the time. Now is not the time for that. Fearless and upright. Somebody wise said that once upon a time. Esoteric soul. I feel that, but I meant like literally, what do we do? Do we hold a conference or a gathering or something? Oh, wow. Wow. That's a great question. Do you know that there is a conference that we're supposed to have every year? You know that picture where it's a bunch of Moors in the front? Has that banner? October 5th. That conference. That's where it's supposed to happen. But don't believe me. See, you asking me questions, but you got to study and see for yourself. And then you'll see, oh, wow, they were doing that then. That's where all these issues start getting worked out. Don't believe me. Please don't believe me. Look it up for yourself. Verify what I'm saying. That's because people keep asking questions. Well, what do we do? What do we do? What did Noble Drew Ali say to do? Let's do that. Right? Yeah, I get you. I get it. And that's the point. That's the point of what's going on. I could be doing more, but I've gotten discouraged at this point watching us just fight each other. That is exactly the point. That is why certain people are not addressing this. So they can continue to keep the fight amongst ourselves, keep the division, keep us stagnant. That's exactly the point. Makes this, oh, it's Rami versus him, and it's Rami versus... Again, I'm saying this, it don't matter who you follow. The Rise of the Moors, Taj, Abdullah, R.V. Bey, Canaan Land, Moors in America, Moorish World TV, Braswell Bay, Emily Eel Faction, Kirkland, what is it? Kirkman Bay, CM Bay, whatever, the cast in Atlanta, any movement, any sort of group you claim to be under. Ain't nobody exempt from what I'm speaking on. And the people that are unwilling to address the Supreme Grand Council understand this. It's not because they don't understand. It's because they're either afraid or, in my opinion, they are here to keep the confusion going. I know that's difficult to accept, but it's a reality. We speak about infiltration. Well, who do you think they are? If I'm wrong, I have no problem saying, my bad, I apologize. But you see, actions speak louder than words. Where are their videos? Where is the literature? Why are they teaching you about killing people and getting guns and arms to try to overthrow a government, try to act. Why are they doing everything but address the Supreme Grand Council? And as long as you keep, well, Rami said this and this person said this, so I don't know what to do. Well, then we continue to be stagnant. If we don't have any courage to stand on the truth and to truly follow the direction that Noble Drew Ali said, then we will continue to suffer. It'll continue to be videos on YouTube and people claiming, oh, I can get you out of court and I can do this and that, and we doing this over here and our group is doing this over here. It'll be that for on and on and on, and people will continue to suffer and be oppressed and be murdered in the streets and suffer through poverty and drugs and all of that and everything that harms. That will continue. I'm about to close out. C. Freeman Arrow, yes. How do we assist in the Supreme Grand Council? I've said it in the other videos. I will restate it here. It is on you. Yes, you. Yes, you. Don't look nowhere else. I'm talking to you. It is on you and me and all of us to challenge the people in the leadership positions, the ones that call themselves a Grand Sheik, a Grand Governor, any sort of official title, any head of the temple, any of them, and all of them. You charge them and demand that they teach about the Supreme Grand Council. You don't accept no for an answer. You don't accept, oh, I'll do it later. We'll do it later. No, sir. No, ma'am. We need to address this right now. When we do that, when we hold the people that are claiming to be the heads of the temple, the leaders of this movement, the Grand Sheiks, when we hold those people accountable and we start making literature and books and posts and comments, and we say we have to address this. When we do that, then that's when we'll get it right. But as long as it's just me doing it, then they can just ignore it. They can keep doing what they've been doing. Hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. And that's everybody. We got to hold ourselves accountable. And if they are unwilling, and it's the other part, if they are unwilling, if they are afraid, they say, I don't want to speak on that. And you say, hey, well, I can't be supporting this. Or I think that you should move aside and let somebody who will address this step forward and lead the way. Because it's obvious you're doing what you want to do and not what Noble Drew Ali said for us to do. See, that's the biggest key. It ain't about Rami. Don't get it twisted. Don't let them try to spin you. It's not about me. It's about what Noble Drew Ali said, and that's what they don't like. They don't like that. Yeah. So you hold them to what Noble Drew Ali said. You hold them accountable to what Noble Drew Ali said for us to do. Not what Rami been talking about, what Noble Drew Ali been talking about. That's the key. That's what we have to do. Cool? Islam? No, I'm not a part of Ali's men. I'm not a part of any sort of, I'm a part of the Moorish Temple of America. A follower of Noble Drew Ali. to keep it nice and simple. I'm not a part of Ali's men, not a part of Canaan Land, not a part of Rise of the Moors, Moorish World, none of them groups. I'm not part of no splinter group. It's one temple, it's one prophet. I'm a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I'm a Moorish American. All right. I think I've said what I wanted to say today. Yeah. Again, I'm gonna read just something from the Quran, Circle 7. And I'm gonna get up out of here. This is from the chapter Holy Instructions of Unity. True wisdom is less presuming than folly. The wise man doubteth often and changeth his mind. The fool is obstinate and doubteth not. He knoweth all things but his own ignorance. The pride of emptiness is an abomination, and to talk much is the foolishness of folly. Nevertheless, it is the part of wisdom to hear with patience their impertinence, and to pity their absurdity. Yet be not puffed up in thy own conceit, neither boast of superior understanding. The clearest human knowledge is but blindness and folly. The wise man feeleth his imperfection and is humble. He laboreth in vain for his own approbation. But the fool peepeth in the shadow stream of his own mind, and is pleased with the pebbles which he seeth at the bottom, and he bringeth them up, and showeth them as pearls, and with applause of his brethren delighteth himself. He boasts of attainments and things that are of no worth. But where it is shame to be ignorant, there he have no understanding. Even in the path of wisdom, he toileth after folly. And shame and disappointment. Read from right there.
And shame and disappointment are the reward of his labor. 9. But the wise man cultivates in his mind with knowledge. Now, just think about that line.
We'll just read it, son.
Oh.
The improvements of arts is his delight. Their utility to the public crowneth with honor.
This is sounding like Shakespeare.
Nevertheless, the attainment of virtue he accounteth as the highest learning, and the science of happiness is the study of his life. Thank you. All right. We're going to say that, I'm going to read this last little piece. Hold on.
About me?
Hold on, man. Stop focusing on yourself, okay?
What's the name?
Hey. We got to focus on what we're reading.
Yeah.
Read this one for me.
The last prophet in these days is noble Drew Ali, who was prepared divinely in due of time by Allah to redeem men from their sinful ways, to warn them of the great wrath which is sure to come upon the earth.
Okay, hold on.
The great wrath.
Right here.
The time has come, and every nation must worship under its own vine and fig tree, and every tongue must confess its own through sin and disobedience. Every nation has suffered slavery due to the fact that they honored not the creed
and principles of their forefathers. That is why nationality.
That is why the nationality.
That is why the nationality of Moorish was taken away from them in 1774. In the word Negro, black, and colored was given to the Asiatics of America who were Moorish descent because they honored not the principles of their mother and father and strayed after the gods of Europe, whom they knew nothing of.
Thank you. Let me read this last piece. Let's read this last piece. Number 10. Number 10, please. Number 10 and 11, Kim.
Yeah.
Read.
The coven.
Come all ye.
Coven.
Come all ye.
Komani.
No, come.
Come.
Cam, we're reading number 10.
Oh, number 10. I thought you were talking about this.
I know.
Come all ye Asiatic of America and hear the truth about your nationality and birthrights. Because you were not Negroes. Learn of your forefathers' ancient and divine creed. That you will not learn
that you will
learn to love instead of hate. We are trying to uplift fallen humanity and come and link yourselves with families of nations. We honor all the true and divine prophets.
Thank you. All right?
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Now some for my melted pizza chips. Let's go.
Hold on, man. I got to close out, say the prayer, all right?
Okay, let's say the prayer. I forgot the prayer.
So, just to close out.
Close out.
Hold on, this is important, all right? Study Noble Drew Ali. Look up what he said about the Supreme Grand Council. And then we have to hold ourselves accountable, especially the ones in leadership positions. All right? That's what we have to do. Not blame other people, not talk about this and that and everybody else. We have to hold ourselves accountable. And now for the prayer.
How long have you been doing this?
For a long time.
You said only 30 minutes. It's been an hour and 8 minutes.
I know. Let me finish.
Allah, the Father of the universe, the Mother of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation. By night and by day, through the Holy Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I love you. I love you. I love you. And thank you for saying good job.
Thank you. Please study. And also, at nothing else, got to remember, love instead of hate. Love is the key.